Warning, the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Think Different TV, live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hosted by me, your girl Lashia. Join me as I discuss social topics, spotlight independent artists, and share financial tips. Join the conversation. I want to hear what you have to say. Think Different TV, where minds meet. You're the reason I wake up, the reason I smile.
But the secret is you got to coordinate. Most people don't coordinate, so you got to coordinate.
Imagine a high-stakes trivia game show where contestants face off in intense battles of wit, strategy, and nerve. Every decision matters. You can take a chance on yourself or your competitor with the ultimate goal to come out on top and win the grand prize. It's not just about knowledge, it's about strategy, guts, and the thrill of uncertainty. Our enigmatic host, Bubbles, guides contestants through the ultimate trivia showdown. This is Think Different TV's Player Pass. Are you ready to pop? Catch Think Different TV's Player Pass every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Think Different TV YouTube channel.
Go drink water and mind my business. Drink water and mind my business. I go drink water and mind my business. Drink water and mind my business.
Hey, you're watching my mommy on Think Different TV.
Hey, guys. Welcome to another episode of Think Different TV, where minds meet. I am your host, Lashia. What's up, y'all? How y'all been? How y'all been doing this weekend? It's so good to be back. And I want to just tell y'all that another thing that is back is this snow. Like, what is up with that? Like, we just got rid of all the snow. It literally was melting. And now we are a winter wonderland once again. So, this snow kind of got its foot on our necks, but we not going to let that get to us, because you know what? Think Different TV doesn't stop because of the weather, baby. Just because it's inclement weather doesn't mean that the show stops. We keep it going. We keep it flowing. And once again, my name is Lashia, for those who don't know. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Trivalafar, for doing a sound check. I appreciate you. Always in the building. We also got Brian in the building. What's up, Brian? So guys, it's gonna be a good show today. It's gonna be a really good show. A great way to round out our FAFO February. F around, find out February. It's Black History Month. It's Black History Month. And we've been talking a lot about situations where people effed around and they found out. We're going to round out this month with a special FAFO. And but before we do that, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Because we got some announcements. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. I want to thank y'all for supporting me, for as long as you have been supporting me. If you are just now joining the Think Different TV choo-choo train, thank you so much. Chugga, 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 choo-choo. We always are bringing great topics to you guys. And if you've been supporting me from day one, I appreciate you so much, because Think Different TV could not be made possible without viewers like you, always and forever. Okay. And so let's get into these announcements real quick, because Think Different TV is a strong program because of the sponsor that we have. The sponsor that we have is so dope, and he's been around since day one. Euphoria Water, the cleanest, healthiest water in Philadelphia. Alkaline water with minerals, no chemicals, no additives. It is good and good for you. If you're going to hydrate the right way. Get your Euphoria Water today. You can find Euphoria Water on IG at Euphoria Water. That's UPHORIAWATER. And if you live in the Philadelphia area and want Euphoria Water delivered to your home, contact Captain at 267-707-8279. Like I said, Euphoria Water has been our A1 Day 1 sponsor since TDTV was a itty bitty IG baby. Now it is a network, it is a brand. And on our network, we have several shows, okay? We have, in my opinion, with Think Different TV's Lashia every Sunday at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on It's Yours Radio, hosted by my bros Daniel and Beck on Live 97.5 FM in Salisbury, Maryland. Now, if you don't live in Salisbury, Maryland and want to tune into the shenanigans, you can always listen in on www.live975.com. Now, this past Sunday, everybody was snowed in. Everybody. So we did not do a live show this week, but I do have a segment coming to you guys. Please be patient with me. As I've been battling allergies and all this crazy stuff, it's been hard trying to get content together for you guys. And I've been noticing I've been slacking. And you know what? That's on me. That is on me. But I'm going to get it together. I have some content coming to you guys very soon, especially in my opinion for this week is going to be put up later on in the week on Friday. And then the newest, in my opinion, for next week will be aired live on It's Yours Radio on Sunday at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you follow me on IG at Lashia Star, Think Different TV LLC, or TDTV Pop Game Show, you will be getting the announcement. You will be getting the notifications when I drop stuff. So just keep an eye out. I appreciate y'all for being so patient with me. I'm not one person. I do have a team. Shout out to Triple La Fire. We've been working as a team. So please, please, please be patient with me. But that aside, we're going to jump into more of this network, this lineup, in my opinion, with Think Different TV's Lashia every Sunday, 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on It's Yours Radio, Live 97.5 FM. On Mondays, you're here right now. Monday nights, we have Think Different TV, which is every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on the Think Different TV YouTube channel, Facebook, and Instagram. Now, if you're watching on Instagram and you want to be seen and heard, come right on over to YouTube, because I can't see the comments and everything. And I don't want you to be like, she didn't see my comment. She didn't shout me out. Blah, 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 blah. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, told you, come on over to YouTube so that I can see you, hear you, and read your comment in real time and respond to it. All right? If you want to continue viewing on Instagram, that's perfectly fine. I don't have no problems with that. A view is a view is a view. Okay? And if you like what you see, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new episodes, exclusive interviews, or replays of any of the shows on our network in our lineup. And if you like this particular live, make sure you share the love by sharing the live. And after you share, make sure you comment #TDTV. If you're watching the replay right now, thank you so much for watching the replay. And if you have any comments about the show, just make sure you hashtag replay before you even leave a comment, so I know that you're watching the replay. All right. So that's Think Different TV on Monday nights. Tuesday nights, we have Think Different TV's Player Pass returning in April of this year. So be prepared. Be prepared.
I know it's a lot of people that are competitive and they know a lot of stuff. And the competitive part is important on this show. Knowing a lot of stuff, not so important. Why? Because this is a game of strategy. Some people win, they know absolutely none of the answers to the questions, but they win simply because they invoke strategy. All right. So if you would like to be a contestant, we're still looking for contestants. Make sure that you email me at lashiastar2@gmail.com, or you can hit me up at lashiastar on Instagram, Think Different TV LLC on Instagram, or TDTV Pop Game Show on Instagram. I promise you, I will get to you, and we'll make sure that we do that. Okay? Make sure we do that. Get you on the roster. Make sure that we have you down as a contestant so you can compete and ultimately probably win the grand prize of $50 on the game show. Or, when we do our tournament of champions, the grand prize is $150. And I heard it through the grapevine that it may be more money invested in that. So I'm just saying, you want to be a contestant, there are cash prizes. All right. Now, that is Think Different TV's Player Pass. And then we have Kink Different TV, which is on Patreon only, patreon.com/TDTV, KDTV. I've seen that it's been dwindling a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I haven't been posting content like that. But it's crazy because it's like, if you're a member and everything like that, I can understand how you'd be like, oh, dang, she's being stagnant. But there's still people that haven't seen the Kink Different TV Patreon page. So I'm offering free memberships for a month, just so y'all can test drive it, see what y'all like, see what y'all don't like, and this, that, and the third. And then if you're like, man, I really want to become a member, or if there's a certain post that you really like and you want to just purchase them right out, you could do that. It offers that now. So just keep that in mind. I know. Y'all been waiting for new content. I am working on it. Trust me. It's not easy sometimes. Like I said, I'm only one person, but I'm not going to give y'all my gripes and woes. I'm just going to say, keep on supporting, because then that will keep me on track to keep doing what I'm doing. All right. I do have a Cash App. I do have a Venmo scrolling along the bottom of the screen. If you would like to support monetarily, you can definitely do that. But I'm really looking at who supports my channel and at everything by how many views I'm seeing on my videos, how many subscribers I have. I'm not even at, I still haven't broken into 3,000 subscribers on my YouTube. So I'm still working on that, so this is 5 years, y'all. Like, this is the 5th season, 8th episode, grinding it out. Think Different TV's Player Pass has over 50 episodes. In my opinion, I've done over 100 segments, and they all have playlists on my Think Different TV YouTube channel. So if you want to check it out, go ahead and check it out. All right. Now, we're going to get into this hot topic because it is hot. All right. Let me go back to that. It is hot because, like I said, we're rounding out Black History Month, and we've been doing F Around, Find Out February. So it all ties in. It's been a lot of stuff happening lately, and more, we're getting put in positions where we have to prove to some people that we are not our ancestors. And we're not going to stand for it. So without further ado, guys, we're going to get into this hot topic. And it's a doozy. Here we go.
I'm coming in hot. There's a certain pattern that shows up time and time again. When people act out of racism, entitlement, or open hostility toward others, the world has a way of responding. Sometimes slowly, sometimes instantly, but always decisively. These are the moments when racist behavior collides with consequences, and the lesson lands harder than expected. It's the person who thought they could unleash a hateful rant in public, only to realize that everyone around them had a camera, and the internet has zero patience for bigotry. It's the employee who assumed their workplace would tolerate jokes or slurs, only to find out that HR, company policy, and public accountability don't play those games. It's the neighbor who tried to police someone else's existence, only to discover that the law, the community, and sometimes even their own employer had something to say about it. These stories aren't about revenge. They're about the natural consequences of harmful behavior. Racism isolates people, exposes them, and often dismantles the very comfort they thought protected them. When someone crosses that line, they don't just find out from the person they targeted. They find out from society, from systems, from the collective refusal to let hate slide. And the fallout is rarely subtle. Jobs get lost. Reputations crumble. Communities push back. The same arrogance that fueled the behavior becomes the reason the consequences hit so hard. In every case, the message is the same. When people choose racism, they choose the consequences that come with it. Because in a world that's increasingly connected, increasingly vocal, and increasingly unwilling to tolerate hate, those who F around with bigotry inevitably find out that the cost is far higher than they ever expected.
Hey, it's your favorite niece, Aaliyah. You're watching Think Different TV, hosted by Lashia, and this is the TDTV music video of the week.
To the white guy that called me slurs over and over again in my live stream the other night for no reason, guess what? You're gonna get kicked out of the United States Navy. You know how they tell us that we should be careful what we do on social media because there could be real life consequences? Hi, my name's Real Life Consequence. I've done a thorough background check and now I know everything about you. I know what little town in Texas you're from. I know your name, your phone number, your email address. I've seen your disciplinary records. I know the names of all of your family members, including your dead mother and your daughter who turns 2 next week, and her mother who's gonna have to pay for all the birthday presents this year because you came into my live stream and saw a black man who was talking about Pokemon cards and video games, and you assumed, yeah, he's not going to do anything if I call him slurs repeatedly, even though he's trying to help me. Turns out I am going to do something. Turns out there are so many things I can do because I have all the screenshots. I have all of the recordings. I know that after you left my live stream, you went into someone else's and started talking about how much you love Jesus and God and the Bible. So maybe I should send that evidence to the church you go to in that little town we both know about. I know exactly which boat in the Navy you serve on, and I know the names of black sailors that serve on the same boat as you. Maybe I'll send the clips to them as well. But only after I send them to the Naval Inspector General's office, because I'm getting you fired. I'm getting you kicked out of the Navy. There's nothing you can do to stop me. There is no apology I will accept. There is no excuse I will listen to. There is no money you could offer me. You're getting fired. And when you're working the graveyard shift in an Amazon warehouse and your back hurts and your feet hurt and those white bright lights are beating down on you and the teenager who still has his life ahead of him walks up to you and says, "What are you doing here?" Tell him the truth. Tell him about me.
Wow, 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 wow. So, what a way to start the night. What a way to start the night. All right. I want to also shout out Veronica being in the audience tonight. Hey, Veronica. Hey, boo boo. Listen, this is, let me tell you something. I decided to play that joint first because I don't know if it actually came to fruition, everything he said, but that is a powerful clip. It's been circulating. He's a he's a streamer named Tamo, and is been circulating. It's been circulating, and it was pretty much to say Happy Black History Month. And yeah, it's another popular streamer that uh actually he claps back at racists as well, and his claps clapbacks be crazy. Okay. The thing about a lot of these people who have streams and everything like that, some of them are very good with, you know, finding people online. Like they are really they could be in the FBI. They could be in the, you know, because how technologically advanced they are. They could track down people so fast. Sometimes cuz you know, people get careless. They get careless. They post a lot of things online. I did a topic on that a while back where, you know, I said, you know, be careful about your digital footprint because people can find you. People can people can know what city you in just by seeing a particular restaurant in the background. And you could not even mention where you at or anything like that. They be like, "Dang, what's that restaurant right there?" They start do 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 typing it in. Next thing you know, they find out what city you in, what street you were on, you know. So a lot of them are hackers, okay? And you do not want to tee off a hacker, okay? You do not want to do that because they will find you with the quickness, okay? And a lot of the people who are keyboard gangsters and think they could just go on there and just say whatever and do whatever, they forget that your digital footprint is so vast. People can find where you went to high school at, middle school at, elementary school at, who's your third grade teacher. They can find out everything about your kids, especially if you're one of those people that gotta post every little thing about your kid online. Like they're gonna find everything. And it's even worse for racists because we black people don't be playing. we we be tracking people down with the quickness. Okay, we're like private investigators. Okay, and so when people have a issue or whatever like that, they be like, "Okay, internet, do your thing." They're really talking to black people. Internet, do your thing. Okay, black people. Because we be going in, we be like, "Oh, wait a minute, hold up. Not everybody had that hairstyle like that. That look like a B more style. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Where they at in B more? Like, yo, I'm trying to told you, we do not play." So that dude made a big mistake messing with him. Now again, I don't know if any of what he said came to fruition. I don't know if he ended up actually doing it to the guy or what have you. I don't know. Maybe the guy never came out and said anything because of fear of him being targeted. Because if you notice, he carefully said his words so that he didn't dox the dude. You get what I'm saying? Like he didn't give away too much information that the guy could be found because like it was like specific type of, but it was only stuff like the guy would know, if that makes any sense. So anyway, let's kick off the rest of this F around, find out. I'm telling you, I don't have many clips. There are a lot of clips, but I don't have a lot of them. There was actually an incident that recently happened, and we're going to talk about that. This the backdrop for this this week's, you know, topic, okay? And it's FAFO, February, racists find out quick. And if y'all seen the video, y'all know where this is from. But it's going to become a very viral clip over time. It really is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play that clip for you. And it's involving a popular streamer TikToker. I don't know if he is a streamer, TikToker. I don't know. He's a social media personality named Adonis Live. Okay, he recently took a trip to, I believe, Romania, and this was the result of one of his interactions while he was out and about.
Yeah, keep it moving.
Why not? Why would I?
All right,
Why
stay
would
here.
I? Why
Stay
would
here.
I?
Stay here like a
Why
dog.
would I?
Stay here.
Yeah,
Like,
stay here.
yeah, you're my dog.
Stay here.
This is my Romanian dog.
You're my bro.
Bugging out. What? What you want to say?
You don't know how this fucking country works.
Yeah, I
Jake.
do know how this. Back up. In my face. You bugging out. Back up. Are you bugging?
Ce-ai făcut? De ce ai făcut asta? De ce ai făcut asta? De ce? Și voi românilor vă uitați la el? Eu acum am...
Call the police.
Traveling content creator Adonis Live got into this altercation while live in Romania. The person he allegedly hit did receive medical attention at the scene, but was not taken to the hospital. And Adonis was detained by Romanian police.
Yeah, keep it moving.
Why not? Why would I?
All right,
Why
stay
would
here.
I? Why
Stay
would
here.
I?
Stay here like a
Why
dog.
would I?
Stay here.
Yeah,
Like,
stay here.
yeah, you're my dog.
Stay here.
This is my Romanian dog.
You're my bro.
Bugging out. What? What you want to say?
You don't know how this fucking country works.
Yeah, I
Jake.
do know how this. Back up. In my face. You bugging out. Back up. Are you bugging?
Ce-ai făcut? De ce ai făcut asta? De ce ai făcut asta? De ce? Și voi românilor vă uitați la el? Eu acum am...
Call the police.
Traveling content creator Adonis Live got into this altercation while live in Romania. The person he allegedly hit did receive medical attention at the scene, but was not taken to the hospital. And Adonis was detained by Romanian police.
All right, guys. So let's jump into this. Okay. So, like I said, Adonis Live, the guy also in the video briefly went over what happened, but y'all can clearly see that this guy wanted his 15 seconds of fame. Okay. He wanted to jump in, and usually Adonis does. I've seen his content before where he's asking people questions on the street. He might ask, do like a funny little joint, like where he's like saying how, like, it's he'll give them like a mind-blowing riddle or something like that that they have to figure out, and then they like, oh snap, or he the type that'll walk up to you and say, okay, spell fat, and then you be like FAT, and it's like, okay, spell her, and it's like HER. Okay, now put them together, and they're like, okay, fat her, but it's really like father. So like he does stuff like that. Okay, just to give you an idea. And he also asks, like he's have had interactions on the street. He goes overseas, and I don't know if y'all have been catching it, but it's been a lot of like hate thrown towards Black Americans from other people of color from other areas, from other countries, and it's really weird. Like I'm actually going to do a think piece on it soon, but like from Godfrey and the guy sitting down having a conversation to the Haitian woman who came on to somebody's podcast and said dirty Black Americans, to just a whole bunch of, like, to me it's self-hate, even though they try to say we are not the same because we're Haitian or we're Jamaican or we're this and you're Black Americans. It's like we're all people of color. Like when you're out and about, until they hear your accent or hear how you speak, they're gonna think that you're just Black. You get what I'm saying? So that's a lot of that going on right now. But Adonis did a recent thing where he was talking to some Black people, and that came up. Let me get back on topic. So he's in Romania, and shout out to him because he younger than me, and he doing more traveling than I have ever done. Okay, he's going to places where they don't smile kindly on us anyway, and he's being bold about it. He's out there in the streets, and he's asking questions and he may not even know their language, and but a lot of people, they know how to speak English for the most part, but you know what I'm saying? And this dude just comes up in his live and like thinks he's gonna dominate, and he gonna tell him, oh, you don't know how things work over here and all this different stuff. It's like, dude, like back up. Like, why are you trying so hard to get fame off of me? You clearly know that I'm somebody out here doing this, and this is why you're acting like a butthole. But then to turn around, the reason why, so first Adonis pushed him off of him because he was getting too close. And then the guy bucked, but then he also spit on Adonis. He spit on him, y'all. And y'all, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like spitting on somebody is like the lowest thing you could ever do to somebody. Like, kick me, hit me, but when you spit on me, I have a special hatred in my heart for that. And he spit on him. Like, even when he turned toward the camera, you could see it was still visibly on his face. So he assaulted Adonis first. First of all, he comes up into his personal space and everything like that. And then I don't know, because sometimes, people they show what, because this is Adonis's content. You get what I'm saying? This is his camera, this is his footage. And so I don't know what took place before the guy walked up. All I know is just this part of the interaction. I felt like he already was sensing a vibe from him, and that's why he was like, "Yeah, you can be my dog. You can sit right, stand right here, whatever, like that." Cause the dude was being a wigger, or maybe I should call it a rigger because he out in Romania. But he was being a real rigger, trying to be up in the whole, in the live and speaking disrespectfully. When he could have came up there on some chill stuff. And they could have had a discussion. They could have had a conversation on the camera, but instead, what he did was he said, "I'm going to cause a scene." And it's crazy how nobody was like, "Yo, chill," when he was all up in his space and everything like that before. Like, they always see the reaction and they act on the reaction, but they don't ever act as a they're never proactive. So they see the confrontation and they want to keep their distance, but as soon as they see a black person knock a white person or a lighter color person down, a person obviously not a person of color, when they see a person of color knock a non-POC down, they automatically want to be like, "Oh my gosh, oh, get the medic, oh my gosh, he hit him, oh my gosh." Like, clearly you can see that the guy's biological whatever is on Adonis's face. And that is gross. Okay. It's super gross. And it's it's super gross. I'm about to put that comment up. But it's super gross and it doesn't make any sense. Y'all probably like, this chick got like, what's wrong with her? Why she laughing? Because I just saw a comment and it's so funny. But listen, I'm trying to stay on topic. I gotta look at the wall because y'all be leaving some crazy comments in my comment section. I'm a thug. I'm a thug. I'm a thug. So anyway, like I was saying, this guy, he effed around, he found out. Point blank period. You don't come up in somebody's personal space and do all the extra stuff, and then I hate that everybody want to be around the dude that is on the ground now and like, "Oh my gosh, like, is he okay?" They kind of was still keeping the distance. They're like, he kind of weird. This dude kind of weird anyway, But it's just amazing to me. Let me get to these comments, man, because y'all is going crazy in the comments, man. V said spitting is an automatic felony. It is because that's what is that? Assault. That's assault, right? Wait a minute. I always get confused between battery and assault. I don't know. Maybe battery is the presenting of like they're gonna do something, and the assault is the actual action. I don't know, but yeah, automatic felony, absolutely. Brian says assaulted multiple times on camera, but gets locked up because he leaned homie clock. He cleaned homie's clock in retaliation. Got it exactly. So he was up there. People were seeing this happen. They was seeing the altercation happen. And then as soon as he cleaned homie clock, like you said, now he got to go to jail. The other dude was treated at the scene, but he didn't go to the hospital. Okay, and why didn't he go to the hospital? But I also would have been like, can I please get treated for whatever this is on my face? Because he could have some type of disease. He could have rabies. He could have cooties. He could have all these different things. He could have some disease that I don't even know about, with COVID and everything still running rampant, even though they're not talking about it as much. Like he put his body like that. Right there should have been like, I need to be checked too. I need to get a shot. I need to, it's crazy. It's crazy. What else? Oh, and this is a V said Rigger sounds like Scooby-Doo saying Rigger? Rigger? Rigger where? Rigger who? Rigger every time it was like, they're like, yeah, like when they was about to go into a hotel and they was like, excuse me, we don't allow dogs in here. And then Scooby-Doo be like, dog? Where? It's like, you the dog. Like, what are you talking about? Scooby-Doo really be thinking he a whole person. He probably is. But yeah, like Rigger. It had me dying, yo. I'm not gonna lie, that had me dying. V said he's also in a foreign country, so yeah, it's automatically against us because they don't take kindly to us, and then that happens, and then it's like these foreign countries do not be playing, y'all. And that kind of leads me into the next one. But before we jump into this next one, I'm going to do a real quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back to the topic. But that's a great segue to the next F around find out. Racist gets their comeuppance. That's what it's called. Their comeuppance. All right. So yeah, let's do this commercial break and then come back to the topic.
Hey, it's your favorite niece, Leah. You're watching Think Different TV, hosted by Lashia, and this is the TDTV music video of the week.
Keeping with the theme of F around find out February, we have this topic tonight: racists find out quick. Happy Black History Month, everyone. We are closing out this month with some racists getting their clock cleaned out. We're gonna get to, I'm sorry. We're gonna get into this next clip. Like I said, these foreign countries do not be playing, honey. And Brazil, they definitely don't be playing when it comes to racism, okay? And I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean by that. Here we go.
So did you guys know that racism is illegal in Brazil and can actually get you arrested? Guys, I'm about to go over one of the biggest fuck around and find out stories that you might have heard in the travel space in a while. But basically, this 29-year-old female from Argentina named Agustina Paez was visiting Rio de Janeiro in January. She was at a bar with friends, and I guess they were drinking, having a good old time. The tab came by. She was in disagreement with the amount I guess she was being charged. A dispute ended up happening. She exited the establishment and then proceeded to do monkey noises, basically calling the staff monkeys, which is considered racism. And so she thought she was going to get away with it. Everything was going to be cool. She was going back to Argentina, no problem. Psych. Brazil said, hell nah, we ain't standing for that. And they got her ass. They arrested her. And then on top of that, they released her on an ankle bracelet. And she has to remain in Brazil for the duration of time until they sentence her. And she could be sentenced to 2 to 5 years of imprisonment. Okay? So Brazil does not fuck around when it comes to racism, guys. Make sure you're doing your research when you're going to a different country before you end up getting locked up for something stupid. I know people that have been locked up for smoking cigarettes, smoking weed overseas. And I'm not even trying to say that racism is something you guys should be doing overseas. Like, obviously, learn to be a bit more open-minded and not be ignorant. I don't condone racism, but in this case, this idiot didn't realize that racism is illegal in Brazil. She thought it was like Argentina where you could say and do whatever you want. But in Brazil, you can't do that. And they locked her ass up, and she found out very quickly that you can't fuck around in Brazil. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed that story. And make sure you do your research before you go to other countries, guys. Simple as that.
Okay, real quick. I know this is not, it has nothing to do with what he was talking about. But did y'all see the arresting officer? She had a wagon on her. She had a little wagon on. She's like, come on. She's like, come on, skinny bitch. Lock your ass up. She like, come on. Skinny girls are evil. Come on. Come on. Come on. They eat good over in Brazil, okay? Argentina, they don't be eating so good. Okay? In Brazil, they be eating good, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She was dragging their wagon, Trevo, and she sure enough was. She sure enough was. I'm sorry. I'm like, dang, like she kind of thick. Okay. V said, bruh, that's my nightmare, getting locked up in a foreign country. Listen, at the top of season 4, the very first episode was, I was telling people, y'all trying to travel and do all this stuff. Okay, good. Y'all got y'all little passports and y'all real IDs and everything like that. But also make sure y'all look up all the do's and don'ts that you could do in another country, because Dubai, do not be playing. they they're like, do buy or don't buy, okay? Because you do not want to go, like you said, it's a nightmare. You get locked up in a foreign country, you don't know what kind of, you don't even know what. Our jails are very very nice compared to the jails they have over there, okay? Because they do not be caring about, you get arrested, you are a criminal. What are we catering to you for? Why are we giving you meals? Why are we making sure that you are properly clothed? We don't care. So over here, you get locked up in America. You got it good, man. Okay, you go over there, you get locked up. You could be like there for jaywalking, and they got you in the same cell as somebody that shank somebody. You don't even know, because they don't care. They just be lumping everybody together. Y'all all criminals. Like, you jaywalked and you shanked somebody. Y'all go in the same cell. Like, wait a minute. Like, what are you talking about? But yeah, if y'all want to know all the do's and don'ts of going to Dubai, just watch the first episode of season 4, which was last year. Because it tells you all about. But then also, just use your common sense, okay? Maybe over in Argentina, they just be racist. They just be like, they see a darker skinned person, they just go at it. They call them all type of slurs and everything like that, and they think it's acceptable. But Brazil was like, not here, not today, okay, not today. You can't be coming over here with that racist stuff. So yeah, she learned. She effed around. She found out real quick. You can't be doing that stuff. You can't, like, what would even possess you to say, I'm going to make monkey noises and do all this? Like, you was that mad because they said you couldn't drink anymore or whatever? Like what? It's so many other bars and this, that, there in Brazil. Like, you ain't have to be at that particular one. You could have just left with a little bit of grace and just been like, all right, well, I guess we partying somewhere else. Somewhere else going to get our money. You feel me? And then I don't know if y'all remember, because a lot of these Caucasians got caucasity, okay? They got caucasity, okay? It's not audacity, it's caucasity, okay? Because they go overseas to these other places and they take advantage of the fact that fairer skin is treated with a little bit more respect. Because automatically when we go over to a foreign country and they look at our darker skin, they already like, oh, that person's going to be a problem. That, they already counting us out before we even, before they even have an interaction with us. But white people, they let them get away with some dumb stuff, okay? They could be cussing and yelling at the top of their lungs. They keep telling them, be quiet, just calm down, calm down, calm down. But black people, they be like, lock them up. Like, you could be like, listen, somebody spilled a drink on me. I'm covered in a drink. Like, can somebody get me something? And you may be louder than the decibels that they expect you to be. And then they're like, you're being too loud. You need to calm down. All this different stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, like, I'm being wronged and I'm getting yelled at. But I don't know if y'all remember it, but I think it was last year or 2 years ago. This white lady went to Puerto Rico or something like that, and she went to a bar and same kind of situation. But why does bitch like lit the place on fire? Like, she lit the place on fire, burnt the place up, burnt the bar up. And I can't remember what came of it, but the way that they was like trying to keep that whole thing a secret, like y'all trying to keep this whole thing a secret, that this lady traveled to Puerto Rico, was getting her little on, and then all of a sudden when it was like, we're not gonna let you buy a drink, or I don't know what the situation was, but she just got so upset that she decided to set the place on fire. So yeah. And again, I don't know what came of it, but I'm just upset because there's steps to that. Like, like there's not like there's like nobody saw her, nobody like tried to stop her, nobody, like, whole place up in flames. Crazy. But yeah, she got the lady got what she had coming to her, and then she gotta stay there until she actually go on trial, and she might get locked up and have to actually do time there. Like, yeah, you was only supposed to be there for 2 weeks. Now you there for 2 years. You might as well be a resident now. You get what I'm saying? I bet she won't do that no more. I bet she won't make no monkey noises no more there, okay? I bet it will teach her not to do it anywhere. Not to do it anywhere, okay? She done learn her lesson. I hope she learned her lesson. She, sometimes they need a swift kick in the butt to know not to do stuff. They need a swift kick in the butt to not do. Cause come on now, just like Adonis, knock that boy out. Like, they need that. They need that. Because otherwise, because sometimes people only learn by that. Some people they learn by getting the hell beat out of them. Like, it's just, you have to do it. You have to do it. Because they're not gonna learn no other way. You could be as nice as pie. You could be like, oh my gosh, please don't be racist. Please don't say those racist things. And then they be like, oh my gosh, I said something racist. See, you must be the racist. They try to gaslight you. You must be racist, thinking it was coming from a racist place. And I was like, what? Like, what? You trying to gaslight me? Like, you obviously said some really racist stuff right now. And I'm trying to tell you, don't say that no more, or I'm going to bust you in the face. Well, you saying it in your head, but you trying to still pay. Like, no more pacifying these people. Like, you got to let them know, like, we're not the one nor the two. Okay, you you might end up with two black eyes. I think it was Lexi Television. She said, "What do you tell somebody that has two black eyes? Nothing. You already told them twice." But yeah, some people need that. Some people need that quick, fast, and in a hurry, honey. Okay, so let's take this quick commercial break. We're gonna come back with the last clip of the night. That this one guy, you know, it's a thing that happens a lot of places. You know, we had it with, um, you know, rest in peace to Trayvon Martin. Um, he had to deal. He had to lose his life because somebody wants to play Mr. Night Watch. And, he saw somebody in the neighborhood, and I'm not even gonna say that dude's name on my channel. He don't need no, my name do not need to come off his lips. Do not even leave it in the comments, y'all. Y'all know who I'm talking about. That fat tub of goo basically red rummed Trayvon Trayvon Martin. Why I want to say why Martin doesn't hear right? No, I was right. Trayvon. Okay, let's just say Trayvon. Okay, because for some reason my brain is like, I know it's Martin, but for some reason I feel like it's Marvin, but it can't be Marvin because Marvin is like another first name. I don't know, y'all. I'm tripping, but young boy lost his life, and at the hands of some idiot who thought he could be Mr. Night Watch and play Mr. You don't belong here, and you don't need to be in our area, and who are you, and this, that, and the third. I don't even think he even asked. He just was like, oh no, this is a suspicious person in the neighborhood, and what should I do? He called the police. They said, stand down, sir. Don't do it. Don't do it. And he was like, he's like, I'm gonna go follow him. He's like, please don't follow him. And he still got out his car. He was in his car. He was safe. Boy wasn't gonna mess with him. He was in his car, safe. And he got out of his car and walked up to y'all know the rest. Y'all know the rest of the story. But it's upsetting because everybody, they feel, all the white men, they feel like they are Bruce Wayne. Like they feel like they are protectors of Gotham City, and they got to keep all the criminals out, but the criminals just all happen to be black. Like it's just astounding to me. It's astounding to me. Okay. But yeah, that's what the next clip is going to be about. But we're going to take this quick commercial break.
Hey, it's your favorite niece, Aaliyah. You're watching Think Different TV, hosted by Lashia, and this is the TDTV music video of the week.
Keeping with the theme of the month, F around, find out February, we have this topic, racist find out quick. This is a classic story of you don't belong here. we don't want your kind around here. What you doing in our neighborhood? Have y'all seen Joe's College Road Trip yet by Tyler Perry? If you haven't seen it, it's a really interesting scene in that movie where you know, due to the younger guy's ignorance, they end up being in a predicament, and let's just say a brawl breaks out and a folding chair is activated, okay? And that was a callback to the Alabama brawl of 2023, I believe. Because I think that was the first year I did, in my opinion, and it was a whole big thing, y'all. It's a whole big thing. The man, the young guy swimming across the river, the guy throwing the hat up in the air as the bat signal for Black people. It's a day to be celebrated, August 5th, 2023, a day that will live in infamy. But I digress. There is, like I said, it is just something with white men. They feel like they have to be these unofficial officials. Like they have to be the ones to enforce rules or say something about something that has absolutely nothing to do with them. Yeah, white women too. You get what I'm saying? We call them Karens and Kens, okay? And this particular Ken found out real quick that what he did was unacceptable. And without further ado, we just gonna jump into this clip. Here we go.
Out of my face. This is a private I know what it is. No, you don't. Yes, I do. If you knew, you wouldn't be here. I'm in law enforcement, so I know what I'm doing. Law enforcement. Yes. Your badge.
Ball says 51-year-old Edward Dombrowski confronted him, questioning why he was there.
Basically was racial profiling me. And he was telling me, what was I doing over here? You don't live here. We don't want you here.
Get out of here. No. Get your car out of here.
Feeling uneasy, Ball began recording. He says Dombrowski had a knife in his pocket.
Right through here where I could see it.
Something confirmed on a 911 call. By the time police arrived, Dombrowski had walked away, and Ball was told to leave. Later, police asked Ball if he wanted to press charges, but without a name, he posted the video online. It quickly drew hundreds of responses.
Get out. You can't case our neighborhood then. Goodbye. It's not for sale. Goodbye. Not for sale. Goodbye.
When we met Ball back at the complex for an interview, Dombrowski walked right up. When we asked Dombrowski why he confronted Ball, his answer pointed to suspicion.
Why would you feel so hostile towards someone like Marcellus Ball pulling up into your condo complex?
Well, Marcellus didn't have a very cogent story to offer me about his presence here with his Volvo.
Dombrowski admits he always carries a knife, but denies showing it to Ball. Still, he acknowledges confronting others before, including an African-American food delivery driver.
Well, as a matter of fact, yeah, one of the delivery people came through. His name was Ezekiel.
Ezekiel?
Yeah, of African-American descent.
Mm-hmm. And you confronted him?
Yeah, I did. It was at 2 a.m.
And you have an association, right?
Mm-hmm.
The association, are they okay with you confronting people?
They're absolutely blindsided by Marcellus.
We reached out to the Villas Condo Association. By email, they told us Dombrowski has no authority to confront anyone. The Wayne County prosecutor charged him with disorderly person and disturbing the peace. We were there for his first court appearance.
That is a misdemeanor punishable by anything from probation and fines and costs to a maximum of 93 days incarceration, or 90 days incarceration, I apologize, and or a $500 fine.
His court-appointed attorney said he was suffering from a mental illness, was off his medication, and undergoing anger management. That's when Livonia's 16-court district judge Paul Bernier fired back.
If this is true, anger didn't provoke you to go up to that man and say the things you did and try to keep him out of your neighborhood. That wasn't anger, that was racism.
For Ball, justice is simple.
Has justice been served yet?
It's on the way. Justice is a process, and this is just part of the process. The judge set a court date, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, let's break this whole thing down, y'all. Let's break this whole thing down. Okay, first of all, he has the right last name, Dombrowski. Dombrowski. Okay, he's dumb. You are dumb. You are really dumb. Wait a minute. You confront this guy and tell him that the condos are not for sale. Like, dude, you are assuming that he wants to be amongst you people. Like, and yes, I say you people. Like, what they think. At one time, there were Black people who felt like to elevate their status or status, however you decide to pronounce it, they would move into neighborhoods that were heavily populated with white people because they thought that living amongst white people was going to elevate their status. As we have come to know over time, that could do nothing but lower your status. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because let's go back into history. Okay, way back overseas, there were people who lived in the Caucasus Mountains. And this is a story that has been told over and over again. And they didn't know how to bathe. They didn't know how to speak. They didn't know how to clothe themselves. A hot mess. And it was Black people who saw these Caucasus people and said, here, wash your ass, clothe your ass. And here are a few words to learn. Taught them, how to speak, all this different stuff. Now, over time, this is like the whisper game. It's like you whisper something in one end, and then by the time it gets down the line to the last person, it's something totally different from what was said at the beginning. So at the beginning, it was this, and somehow white people started thinking that they were more superior to us. Oh, we have the fairer skin. We were oh, they people were what was they doing to this skin? They was doing something to this skin. It wasn't bleach yet. It wasn't nothing. It wasn't bleaching yet. Now that's a new thing. But they was doing crazy stuff to their skin. They was dying to be fair. Dying to be fair. Even white people who were white, they were already white. They were like, I have to be whiter than this. There are Asian people who are currently Asian woman she just lost a whole bunch of followers because the little filter that she had on her face, it had glitched during her TikTok or whatever, and people saw how she really looked. She's beautiful, by the way, without the filter, but the filter made her more pleasing to the eye of some people because it made her fairer skin and made her look like one of those anime type women or whatever. But here we got this whole thing where over time they start thinking that they was better than us and that they that we're the inferior and all this stuff. So, but that's not true. And I don't know why Mr. Ball was over there. I don't even think he even mentioned in the clip why he was in that neighborhood, but to assume that he wants to buy in that neighborhood and live in that neighborhood amongst someone like you who can't even find a t-shirt that fits you and you looking real like he looked like a bum. Like he looked like Mr. Ball he dressed nice, probably smelled good. He got the glasses, got the hat and everything like that. Got a car, real nice car he driving and everything like that. And you walk up to him looking like a whole bum, talk about something. We don't want your kind in our neighborhood. If you're looking to buy, we're not selling. There's no condos for selling. And it's like, what? If you don't get out of my face. And then he's so nosy. He saw Mr. Ball being interviewed, And he's like, "Oh, I gotta go over there and say something." And he fessed up. He obviously is very comfortable in his racism, that he was like, "Yeah, I said something to him, and I also said something to a delivery guy because he came here like 2 in the morning." Like, first of all, um, why are you what the hell are you doing up 2 o'clock in the morning, looking and seeing who is delivering what to somebody's house? Okay, he was not delivering to your house. The person who had the munchies or whatever, or obviously was hungry in the middle of the night, ordered a delivery, and the delivery guy was doing his job and delivering food. So if you are on some stuff like, we shouldn't have unknown people in the neighborhood after a certain time, you could petition for something like that. You can say, like, listen, if y'all gonna have people delivering food and everything like that, it has to be done before this time, because we don't allow it don't matter who, any delivery drivers, people colored, not colored, don't matter, they should not be in the neighborhood after a certain time. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was that this young man was black. And then you're like gonna shout his name out like Ezekiel, like why did you even say his name? Because you thought that was like your token in. I I was unclear as to why he would even mention the young guy's name. It's like, do Ezekiel have a case too? You done mentioned my name on camera, and I'm the only one. I'm the only Ezekiel that delivered to that neighborhood. Maybe I got a case too. Maybe I need to do what Mr. Ball did and say I was harassed and I felt threatened and I felt like my life was in danger, because we remember Trayvon Marvin, Trayvon Martin. It was Martin. It had to be Martin. Why is it so hard for me to remember that? Trayvon Martin is Martin, because I'm thinking because it wasn't two V's, it was a V and then a T. Okay, Trayvon Martin. So listen, y'all know what I'm trying to say. The young guy that's going into this neighborhood should be in fear of his life. He don't know what these people had. They can have dogs that are rabid, that are, because they don't they don't keep them on leashes, because they like the family. They one with the family, whole Rottweiler pit bull running around with no leash on them, and then they poop all in the yard because they don't believe in, oh, it'll just be fertilizing and stuff like that. So anyway, because I've seen it so many times downtown in Center City in Philadelphia, and it's like, yo, what the heck? I would hate living in, oh my gosh, the stuff I see them doing regular. I know people that, I can't even say that on here because then they don't know what I'm talking about. But is this craziness? I would never want to. I'll give y'all a quick story real quick. I remember being in college. I did a little stint in Mansfield University, and I was on a floor, and me and my roommate was black, and there was another girl on the floor who was also African American, but the rest of the floor was white women, right? And they would leave their stinky sneakers outside in the hallway, and it just be stinking up the whole hallway. And then we had a meeting. I remember we had this meeting and it was like we're having a floor meeting, and it just so happened that, well, me and my roommate couldn't miss this meeting because our room was just right next to the rec room on the floor. So they used the rec room, which was just like a room with like a couple of couches in it, and it had a TV in there, but it was used for the meeting. So we couldn't miss that meeting because we was like right next door. So it's like, Like, it's time for the meeting, guys. So we walk over there and we're sitting there, and they're like, we have a few concerns with our floor and everything like that. They talked about the sneakers being left out in the hallway. Me and my roommate looked at each other. We was like, they ain't got nothing to concern with us because we don't do that type of stuff. Then they was like, and then y'all are the guys that come here and do the bathrooms, they have to unclog the drains in the showers, and it's like a lot of hair in the drain. So we're asking, could y'all please like not always wash your hair? Now me and my roommate and the other black girl, we all like looked at each other. It was y'all looked at each other like, that clearly is not hair coming from us. Why are we at this meeting? Because all the concerns had nothing to do with us, and we all knew that. So we was like, and then it was like, we got a few more things we want to go over or whatever. I was like, what else is on the agenda? Because so far, none of this stuff got anything to do with us. We obviously are not the ones leaving hair in the drain, and what else? Leaving sneakers outside. We not doing that. So we obviously need to be dismissed from this meeting because this don't have nothing to do with us. So yeah, that was funny because I was like, we're obviously like not the ones responsible for that. I say that to say, y'all, it's been so many times that I was just like, that's one thing that told me I would never, like, if I can't even do a floor in a college living amongst them, I know I can't live in a neighborhood amongst them. I just can't. And I don't have nothing against white people. Listen, y'all fun to party with, just can't fall asleep around them. They do some crazy stuff to you when you sleep. It's just like, it's certain things, but I would never be like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna move into a certain neighborhood to elevate my status. I'll move into an affluent neighborhood, but it's gonna be mixed. It's gonna be like white people, some Asian people, some Hispanic people. It's gonna be a nice little melting pot of affluent people that I'm gonna move amongst, because a lot of times when you move into neighborhoods that are predominantly white, they do stuff like that, like what that dude did. You could be living there for years, mind your business, get your mail, always keep your lawn clean and everything like that. You ain't got, I don't have no pets. So the only two people that's gonna be in my house is me and my son. And I could be there for years. And they probably wouldn't even know that I'm even living in the neighborhood. Cause they not gonna, I'm gonna be in and out. I'm not gonna stay in my house. I don't have no reason to stay in my house. I gotta go to work, come home. They might see me coming and going, but they ain't seeing me just hanging out and having parties and stuff like that. Oh no. I'll go to my friend's house and go away and party. And then I come back and they won't know a thing about me. All they know is that, wow, she really keeps her lawn manicured, and she has a friendly demeanor every time I see her, but they not gonna know who I am. But then it's like, why would you even want to live like that? Like in my neighborhood that I'm in now, yeah, it's not, I know a few people, but I'm not all buddy with everybody. And that's just the styles of an Aquarius anyway. We not really like on some, oh, hi, nice to meet you. Let me come over to your house and let's hang out and let's have a drink and let's, no, I don't do all that. I stay to myself. and I said hi and bye, and I'm very respectful. But at the end of the day, I don't really know you like that. I don't really know you like that. If I don't even talk to my own extended family members, what make you think I'm going to talk to you and you're a stranger? I don't know you. But that's just me. That's just me. But this guy, then and again, we're gonna break down this video because he confronted Mr. Ball. Mr. Ball, he was close enough to Mr. Ball that Mr. Ball could clearly get his face on video camera, well, on his phone. Then during his Mr. Ball's interview, he walks up and he thought what he was saying was going to make him look better, and it didn't. And he pissing the homeowners association off because they're like, we don't know what this dude is doing because he don't have a right to do what he been doing. And that's why I went to court. And he went to court. And y'all see who they appointed as his court appointed lawyer is a black guy. Really? What? Like, I would have been like, I don't care how. First of all, you're a court appointed attorney. You're not making enough. You're not making enough money. I would have been like, I'm not jeopardizing my black card for this dude. I'm not doing it. Like, what's the reason? So yeah, I was a little thrown off that his attorney just happened to be a black guy too. I was like, are we serious? Like, what are we doing right now? And then the judge put him in this place. Like, listen, that wasn't anger management. That was racism, dude. Like, I don't know what you think this is. And his punishment also made me mad because it was 90 days in jail or a $500 fine. No, it should have been 90 days in jail and a $500 fine. They slipped that in there. Thinking I caught that. Okay, said 90 days or a $500 fine. Y'all think he's not gonna pay that $500 fine? See, jail is for poor people. I honestly, like, jail. If you end up in jail, it's because you're poor. Because you're poor. Like, and you and jail is different from prison. So don't misconstrue, because it's a lot of celebrities and wealthy people that are in prison. But jail, if you can get bailed out, if you got the money to bail yourself out, you're not going to sit in jail. So for them to say, oh, you get 90 days or you get a $500 fine, I'm like, no, because you want to know why I have an issue with that? Because the lady that stole like I put it in my thing that was $49 worth of stuff, but she literally stole like $100 and something worth of stuff from a store, and they was trying to give her this crazy fine. And if the fine wasn't even what is it called? It wasn't even nothing to pay back the store. It was just to pay. It was certain fines for the police and for all that. So I'm like, yo, of course it was in a different state. But I was like, wait a minute. This lady clearly don't have any money. Y'all trying to say $1,000, close to $1,000 she gotta pay in fines, but his joint is $500 or 90 days in jail. Y'all think he not gonna pay that $500? He gonna pay that $500 quick, okay? Because he living in that neighborhood. $500 probably a drop in the bucket for him. But then I'm probably jumping ahead of myself because it probably don't even cost that much to live out there for real, for real. What if that was like a projects for white people? It's like, really, like Mr. Ball was like, I'm sorry. You misunderstand. I wouldn't want to live amongst you people. I would have said that. I would have been, listen, you misunderstand, sir. I do not desire to live amongst you people. I already have a home. Okay. I had things going on. Okay. This would actually make me less than living amongst you. I would have gave him the business. Because you don't play with people like that. You don't play with people like that. And I like the fact that he was so, Mr. Ball was so cool and calm and collected because he know he did nothing wrong. He know that this dude was being an ass. And he knew that it was nothing that he could say that was going to change the facts of what happened. What happened, happened. And now it was just time for that person to get his comeuppance. And like I said, his name Dombrowski for a reason. Dombrowski did the big one. He effed around. He found out. And guess what? He got punished. Now, the punishment wasn't it. Well, I mean, I would 90 days for, like, if he put his hands on Mr. Ball, oh, it shouldn't even be no 500. He should have got 90 days. Like, no, you're not gonna sit up here and put your hands on somebody and think you gonna. But the fact that he was so bold as to think he was doing the right thing, oh, well, I don't know your reason for being here. You need to identify yourself. Like, dude, where? Are you a police officer? And he had a knife. He had a knife on him. He had a knife on him. I bet he was just waiting for Mr. Ball to like do something crazy so he could have a reason to pull that joint out and, poke him up. They just be waiting for a reason to do crazy stuff. And I honestly feel like if Mr. Ball wasn't recording the interaction, it could have got bad. Cause first you say, oh well, I do carry a knife, but I didn't show him that. How would he know you have a knife if you didn't show him the knife? Like he did, like Mr. Ball just made it up. But you confirming by saying I always carry a knife on me. Well, why you always carry a knife on you? What's the reason why you always carry a knife? The reporter wasn't doing enough for me. She was, because I would have been like, what's your reason for carrying a knife again? Are you a fisherman? Are you are you a handyman? Like, what's your reasoning for carrying a knife everywhere you go? Inquiring minds want to know. All my viewers would like to know, why do you carry a knife around in this quiet neighborhood? What's your purpose? And then I would have went even further and seen if there's anybody that's been poked up in that neighborhood recently and see if it had a trace back to him some type of way. Because, listen, I'm a detective. Okay. I would have did some fine detective work that day. And when he walked up, and I was like, well, like you come out here with your oversized white t-shirt and your dusty pants and your ugly shoes, and Mr. Ball dressed sharp, so how he wasn't like the owner of these condos. How did you know? That tripped me out, because that's how they how they cut their nose to spite their face. Because how do you know that he wasn't somebody there who was a contractor, hired to look at the property, see if he want to bring in his contract? He could be the owner of a contracting company, and they want him to come there to look at the condos to see if they can add some stuff or whatever like that. And he's trying to evaluate the property. He don't know why that man was there. But the way you approached him was all wrong. Because you made it seem like, what you doing here? You don't belong here. We don't like your kind around here. Like, what are we doing? Okay. Hey, Care Bear, I see you. She said, Shia. Hey, boo-boo. Yeah, so it's just like she said, poke, 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 poke. Remember Buddy from I Got the Hookup movie? You know what is funny? I haven't seen it in so long. But isn't that the movie with Jamie Foxx? Well, you'll let me know in the comments. I think that's the movie where he was in. I got the hookup. They sound like a Jamie Foxx movie. But yeah, y'all. He effed around. He found out, and I like I said, his punishment wasn't as severe. But now that he know he can't just be coming up to people and saying all this stuff, I'm still mad that he had a black lawyer. I'm still mad he had a black attorney because I'm sorry. The little check that you get for being a court appointed attorney, I would have been like, listen, he must have really needed the money. He must have really needed the money because there's no way. You're pretty much was held up with Nia Long. Okay, well what's what was I got the hookup? Who's it? Okay, what's I got the hookup though? Does that have Jamie Foxx in it though? Cause I feel like they got Jamie Foxx in it. I got the hookup. Let me know in the comments. Cara Bear said that sounds like half my family with that accent. Shit. I'm sorry. Oh, Master P. Okay. I remember. Master P and Silk the Shocker and all of them was in the movie, and they had like a I got the hookup. You know what? And AJ Johnson, may he rest in peace. Yeah, that you threw it back, man, because that's a old school. I saw it once. Like I went on to like a whole bender where I was watching old school black movies, and I think I saw Held Up once. I saw Money Talks. I think I saw Money Talks twice. But yeah. Black and Blue, who sold cell phone service. Okay. Oh yeah, I got the hookup. Duh. Okay. But yeah, y'all. What did y'all think about these F around find out situations? If you are watching the replay, thank you so much for watching the replay tonight. If you are tuning in live, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in live and sharing your comments and being in the building. Shout out to Tribu Lafare. Shout out to V. Shout out to Cara Bear. Shout out to Brian. For all y'all tuning in tonight, I see as a fifth person tuning in, but they didn't leave no comments, so I don't know who that person could be. But you know, leave in the comments where you're watching from. Let me know if there's a topic you want me to touch on. Next month is March, and March is Women's History Month. Don't know exactly what I'm going to do for March. It's kind of up in the air right now. So if you have any suggestions, you can always leave them in the comments, or you can send them to my IG. If you're following me on IG, you can send it to Lashia Star, LASHIASTAR, or Think Different TV LLC, THINKDIFFERENT TV LLC. Or you can send it to my email, lashiastar2@gmail.com, so that I would know, if you have any topics you want me to discuss on the show, definitely let me know. I wanted to make it like a woman's themed month, but March is also March Madness. So usually I do really outrageous topics in the month of March. I think last year, the month of March, I focused on headlines, stuff ripped from the headlines that were so outrageous, so over the top. A woman leaving her, I was about to say mother, but she's no mother. A woman leaving her children in the house for 5 years alone. Yeah. Definitely check out last season, because last season I was snapping. Okay, I had some crazy topics last season. All my seasons I'll be snapping, but just let me know what y'all want me to talk about. And let me see. Well, let me see. Wait. Paul, I didn't throw nothing back. Watch your mouth. Wait a minute. Shiva, what you talk about throwing something? What you throwing back? What you throwing back? No puff stuff. Oh no, I'm talking about you bringing up some throwbacks, not throwing anything back. You bringing up some old school movies. That's what I was talking about. Oh man, Shiva, listen, hey, I don't judge. If that's what you like to do, it ain't none of my business. I didn't mean it. I wasn't trying to say it like that. But let me stop being goofy and get off of here, man. It's been real, y'all. As usual, it's always a good time when I chill with y'all on these Monday nights. Shout out to Euphoria Water, the cleanest, healthiest water in Philadelphia. Alkaline water with minerals, no chemicals, no additives. It is good and good for you. If you're going to hydrate the right way. Get your Euphoria Water today. You can find Euphoria Water on IG at Euphoria Water. That's UPHORIAWATER. And if you live in the Philadelphia area and want Euphoria Water delivered to your home, contact Captain at 267-707-8279. Euphoria Water is our sponsor here from day one in support of our network and our brand. And on our network, we have several shows, in my opinion, with Think Different TV's Lashia every Sunday at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on It's Yours Radio, hosted by Donio and Beck on Live 97.5 FM in Salisbury, Maryland. Or you can tune in to the Shenanigans Live on www.live975.com. And it's always a good time. It's always some laughter. I actually just dropped one. I have to drop it on my YouTube, but I just dropped one on my Instagram. I posted the whole joint on my Instagram, but it's talked about Corey Holcomb situation with Christina Payne. We talked about the whole Ja Rule incident on the plane, and we talked about the case that won't quit when it comes to Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, and that kind of almost rhymed. We had Christina Payne, Ja Rule on the plane, and we had Tory Lanez. Yep, that's what was going on in the last what you call, and some new recent development came about because I threw in there about Vlad having this text, not text, but he put on Twitter all this stuff about I have a confession and this, that, a third. And it was very well written out. So he waited days after that to say, oh, I was just playing around. How could any of you take me seriously? And it's like, dude, you don't play about stuff like that. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I really don't like Vlad. And a lot of people think he's a Fed anyway. So, and I said Fed, not, I don't want y'all saying, oh, she said a slur. No, I said Fed. They think he a cop. Okay. But anyway, that was in my opinion. Then you have Think Different TV every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on the Think Different TV YouTube channel, Facebook, and Instagram. And, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new episodes of any of our shows on the network. And if you like today's live, make sure you share the love by sharing the live. And after you share the live, hashtag TDTV in the comments. All right. Think Different TV's Player Pass will be returning in April of 2026. Bring on your competitiveness, bring on your strategy. That's what we do on Think Different TV's Player Pass. Some people win, they don't know not one answer to any of the questions, but they end up winning because they strategize. And I am looking for you. If you are competitive and you want to be a contestant, drop me a line at LashiaStar2@gmail.com, or you can send me something at LashiaStar on Instagram or Think Different TV LLC. And then Kink Different TV is on Patreon only, patreon.com/TDTV That is our lineup. That is a wrap, guys. That was a great show. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. If you are just now joining the Think Different TV choo-choo train, chugga, 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 choo, choo. Thank you so much. And those who have been aboard from the beginning, I thank you as well. Think Different TV is made possible with viewers like you, and I appreciate you oh so much. And that concludes today's show. So let me know what y'all think about the clips. Do you think they got what they deserved at the end of the day? Let me know. And I hope I showed y'all something y'all didn't know. I taught y'all something tonight. I hope y'all have a great week, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Hey, it's your favorite niece, Aaliyah. You're watching Think Different TV, hosted by Lashia, and this is the TDTV music video of the week.
But the secret is you got to coordinate. Most people don't coordinate. See, you got to coordinate.
Imagine a high-stakes trivia game show where contestants face off in intense battles of wit, strategy, and nerve. Every decision matters. You can take a chance on yourself or your competitor with the ultimate goal to come out on top and win the grand prize. It's not just about knowledge, it's about strategy, guts, and the thrill of uncertainty. Our enigmatic host, Bubbles, guides contestants through the ultimate trivia showdown. This is Think Different TV's Player Pass. Are you ready to pop? Catch Think Different TV's Player Pass every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Think Different TV YouTube channel. Think Different TV, live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hosted by me, your girl Lashia. Join me as I discuss social topics, spotlight independent artists, and share financial tips. Join the conversation. I want to hear what you have to say. Think Different TV, where minds meet.
You're the reason I